Hello, my name is Kathy Bissell. Welcome to the Golf Show 2.0. Today we have some interesting guests who make custom products. Gary, I'm going to let you do the introduction because if I explain it, then you can't explain it.
You're assuming I can explain it.
Yes, I
No,
am.
I think one of the things I love are golf bags, and Orca Golf, started by these ladies, Deb and Erica Bennett. Uh, they're kind of the Mercedes of custom golf bags, and I'm not sure how many other companies there really are who do it, and certainly nobody does it like they do. So, welcome to the Golf Show 2.0, and I think everybody wants to know where you got the name. How did you decide to name Orca after your golf bag company after a dolphin?
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for having us. It's nice to be here, Kathy and Gary. Every opportunity we get to talk about Orca Golf, it wakes us up even earlier because for us it's a story that is from the heart, but it's also the challenge and the little victories we call them and the ups and downs of golfing. So we started Orca Golf about actually in 2019. And we know what happened after 2019, right? So we really have been in business only 2.5 years. But Orca started because Deb has a very storied history in the corporate field. She has broken many glass ceilings. She's headed large teams, international teams over the years. And decided to do something for the back nine that was a little bit more personally meaningful, because when you work in corporate world, you're working hard, you're doing well, you're succeeding, but it's always for a different entity, and we wanted to do something for ourselves that was a little bit more purpose driven. And we decided to help girls in technology, because Deb's field, and she's way more eloquent at speaking about her background than I am, but her field was technology, and being in senior leadership in technology, how girls struggle to break into the field. So we wanted to help girls. So we said, let's do a startup where we're raising funds to help girls who are coding and couldn't find funding. And of course, being avid golfers, we thought we want to broadcast what we're doing on the golf course. We want people to know that we're helping girls. We're trying to help girls in tech. So we wanted a golf bag that said just that. We wanted it to be high quality. We wanted it to be something that was not the typical bag that you will see on a golf course. And we wanted it to be about us. We like, nice things. We like things to be elegantly done and well done. Couldn't find one. So Gary and Kathy, we thought, let's make it.
I like the use of the phrase "back nine" to describe.
Yeah.
We'll call ourselves the over 50 group.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to start saying back nine. What tees you playing? I'm playing the back nine tees, not the senior tees. I like that.
Yeah.
Which, as we've learned over time, are now called the scoring tees.
Yes.
Oh, I haven't heard that one. I
Well,
like it.
that's our friend Jan Beljan who has
Okay.
come up with that.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
love that because, it distinguishes what the forward tees have always been meant for, which is strategically playing. And for those who maybe are not as long hitters as some of the other folks who play, but still can play a really good round of golf. And I love her concept of, if you can play well from the forward tees, then you can move back a little bit.
Yeah.
But otherwise, they're no longer the senior tees, and they're certainly not the women's tees.
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely. Well, so of all the names you came up with, what else did you have? You came the elegant large dolphin that a lot of people mistake for a whale. What was the story behind the naming?
I'm actually going to let Erica tell this story because she's the storyteller in all of this. But go ahead.
So when we decided to start our back nine, like we say, our back nine company for ourselves, we wanted again a name that was synonymous with strength and power, because everybody they buy a golf bag, but everything that we're about personally and professionally is about being distinctive and being different. So Deb has always had this fascination with the orca. We call it the most the dolphin with the most beautiful paint job. So and That's what the Orca really is, and she's a brilliant mind. She's a very brilliant, black and white mind.
This is my marketing friend, by the way.
but she is, and for her, the black and white was synonymous with life, with meaning and purpose. So we started researching the Orca, and then we realized, my goodness, the Orca really spoke to everything we wanted the company to be about. The orca is the biggest mammal in the ocean, but it's also the only mammal that mimics humans, the closest. Did you know that every orca has a DNA, has its own individual DNA, just like humans? That is why our insignia is the fluke, which is the tail of the orca. Yeah. We see every human being as its own individual, and every golfer as its own individual. And whilst we're all different, we feel that we belong in the sport called golf. So there we go, aha, the orca. Then we realize the orca traveled in pods, just like family. They're families. They talk about pod Cs and pod Sos. Orcas are about families, and the grandmother is taking care of the baby orcas. And the baby orcas are called calves. And that's why one of our golf bags is called Calf. So we wanted a name that was powerful and strong, but a name that gave homage to the beauty and power of the orca, because that's how we see women in general and women in golf, that we feel that we have our own power and we have our own story. So we're not competing with anyone, because we feel that we are our own competition. And that is why Orca became the name of our brand story that everybody's talking about today.
Well, it's a net. You've already got the nautical tie-in. We'll talk some more about the specifics of your bags, but really the news is you've got this Guy Harvey collection out. And I didn't know, I'd never heard of Guy Harvey until, I don't forget if it was my birthday or Father's Day this year. I got a t-shirt, a Guy Harvey t-shirt with a fish on the back. My grandson's named Harvey. That's why I was given that. So I looked up who Guy Harvey was, and he basically, I guess, is the Elvis of marine art. So yes. Tell us, so now you've got bags that are, have Guy Harvey. Your golf bags are now works of art in the Guy Harvey collection. Yes. Tell us how the Guy Harvey, tell us a little more about Guy Harvey and how this came about.
Yes, and again, I'll speak mostly because of how this all came together, the Guy Harvey story. But our golf bags, and Deb probably can speak to that, our golf bags are different in that they're storytellers, because I grew up on the island of Jamaica, and our lives was about oral traditions. So whilst we had nothing that was material, but we had everything that was educational and spiritual. So storytelling was everything. So I would listen to my grandmother, on the steps of her home, tell a story. So that's how we learned about, life and distance, places that we would never go to. Paris. We would never ever in our lives as a little girl go to Paris. So as storytellers, we wanted our golf bags to do the same. So we wanted, Kathy, your golf bag would be about Kathy, and Gary, your golf bag would be about Gary. So it would be two different stories altogether, because none of us stories is the same. So having that mindset and how we have built our bags over the last few years, I heard that Guy Harvey was going to speak at one of his stores in Las Olas, where we lived. And I thought, I've always wanted to create bags with the Guy Harvey story, because it was about saving the oceans. And we're Orca Golf, and his artwork is just beautiful. So, and I knew who Guy Harvey was because of his work over the years. So I said to Deb, let's go and meet Guy Harvey, say hello to him. And, who knows, we could talk about, show him our golf bags and say, wouldn't it be great to have your beautiful art on our bags? So, of course, we pack up and we go over to meet Guy Harvey. And I meet this gentleman, and we're talking. And in the midst of talking, he said to me, where are you from? I hear an accent. And I said, I'm from Jamaica. And he stopped. He stopped in mid-sentence and said, wait a minute. He walked over to, he was promoting his book at the time. He walked over, picked up a book, opened the book, and he showed me a map. And that map was the place where I was born. And I looked at him and I go, Harvey. He said, I was born in Betheltown, Westmoreland, Jamaica. And that's where I was born. As a little girl, I knew of a family called Harveys, but they were way above, our little, means. So we never met them. We never knew a lot about them, but we knew of them. Would you believe that the Harveys was a parent and Guy Harvey himself, who grew up just about 5 miles from me in Jamaica? Neither one of us knew that. I didn't know, and he didn't know. So right there, it was like this aha moment of hugs and an hour and a half. He's trying to sign the books and sign his things, but we were so fascinated with each other's story that here I am. We grew up. I look and sound nothing like Guy Harvey. Our backgrounds are not the same, even though we were born so close together. And here we are at my age and his age doing something almost similar. Think about the odds of that.
Well, you've got to be the only golf bag company that's ever put art on the golf bag. I mean, I think that's a first.
It may be the only company that's put giant fish on a golf bag.
Exactly. And that's what distinguishes us from everyone else. And that's why we say we are our own competitor, because
the designs are beautiful. I've looked at them, and we'll be showing them here. Yes. And to have that kind of quality artwork reproduced so faithfully on the bags, I'm sure you're pleased with it. I'm sure he's pleased with it. And I understand that some proceeds are going to go to it's a foundation that he has that it's kind of, for lack of a better term, save the ocean kind of thing, which I think everybody's in favor of.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And a part of what we do, again, it's all about, sustainability. We say this because it's the meaning of Orca. We do something that's different. We don't just say, hey, we're going to make these pretty golf bags, and that is giving back, sustainability, broadening. Everybody says they're growing the game. We're broadening the game. How often do you see someone who looks and sounds like me or Deb standing in front of Jack Nicholas with a golf bag that we designed, and he's looking at it, and Jack is saying to me, maybe for the next one we do so and so. And I'm thinking, Jack, you do the golf course, I'll do the golf bag. It's a great moment. So for us, it's broadening the game of golf and broadening the business of golf to show that, we all belong there, and we all have our own personal stories in some way that can be done at this level. Because as you know, there are no women who are manufacturers of golf bags in the United States.
And could you tell us about, you were involved in doing team golf bags for various international teams for, I don't know if it was a World Amateur Championship or what it was, I've forgotten the title. But you did bags for, I don't know if it was all the teams, but it was for a bunch of the teams.
Yeah, we actually, that's another piece of the business, is to actually help outfit those particular teams with unique bags that speak to them. And one of the things that I think we're most proud of this year was, and again, us as women in this field, which is a field that's never been that welcoming, and I don't say that in a very derogatory way, but women have just never stepped into this part of the golf industry. And so all of our male peers have been given the opportunity to make bags for all these different groups. And now folks are saying, wow, you guys do something different. Let's talk to you and let's see what you can do. But this year we did the 2023 Hanwha International Crown this year for 8 countries, 36 of the top women in the world. And Erica created the most beautiful golf bags. And I say that as just a golfer. But the thing that was unique about those bags was, all of the bags, they have certain restrictions and guidelines around how the bags are to be decided, but there's some creativity that was given to us. And one of the things that sets us apart from everything else is, again, I have to give credit to Erica for this because she's so creative. Women are just given bags and they put their name on them. there's no thought put into the women don't really need the biggest bag. They just need a bag that works and is functional. However, in the hand we did on each individual pocket of the different countries, Erica chose to put the country's flower, national flower, on each one of them. And I actually had the opportunity to attend the event, and the women just could not believe someone would take the time to do something like that. And the one little story about it is most people don't know that in the United States, do you know what the flower is of the United States, the national flower of the United
No,
States?
I didn't know we had one. I know the various
we
states have them.
Actually,
I look at my yard and guess dandelion, but that's probably wrong.
actually, it happened during the Ronald Reagan era. And he said that the national flower, he somehow created this, was going to be the rose.
I figured.
Well, as Erica began researching all the different countries, she really couldn't find a rose that she really liked to do embroidery with. And so she went back to, and she takes pictures all the time. She went back to when we lived right outside of Washington, D.C., and she had the most beautiful rose garden. She had a picture. And she used a picture from our rose garden to create the rose for the USA bag. And I thought that was a unique little story. And that's what happens to us all the time. There's something special that happens in every single bag that's created. And then the World Amateur Golf, she has done the United States. She's done Finland. She was just contacted because South Africa saw Finland's bags and said, can you make our bags? So we're hoping to continue adding those bags. And then there's some other things coming down the pike that we'll also be doing a little bit later too.
And our story is not one where we inherited anything or we knew anyone in the industry. Everything that we're telling you about is because of our own efforts, or working 24 hours every single day, reaching out to people. I knock on a door until you're forced to open the door. I am the Jamaican girl who made my own skipping rope out of the vine from a tree. So there's no stopping me. So we're in Panther National, which is one of the most prestigious golf courses in the United States that's just being built designed by Jack Nicholas and Justin Thomas. And our golf bags are in Panther National, and it didn't happen by chance. I knocked on the door until Panther said, okay, let me see that stupid bag of yours. And they loved it. they loved it. We got approved. So, everything about our story for us is inspiring others to do something that they feel that they probably would never succeed at. So for us, we've just scratched the surface, and we just want others to know that even though we're women and we're women in a field that no others is, we're just as good or better. So
nothing beats word of mouth. I was looking at photos of some of your bags before we came on the air here, and they're just stunning. That Nicholas bag you mentioned was all yellow. I mean, it was just beautiful. But it reminds me of I know when my son played college golf, one team had these state-of-the-art rain suits, I think from ProQuip. And every tournament, the other teams are going, hey, where'd you get that?
Yes.
And the players would tell their coach, we want that.
Right.
And I'm sure the same thing is like your golf bag.
Yes.
If you outfitted one college golf team, every tournament they go to, every other, the 8 other teams in that event are going like, hey, those are better than ours, coach. Why don't we have that? And your best advertising is people seeing your bags being used because they go, wow, I've never seen one like that.
Right. We were going to change our throw to where'd you get that bag? Because literally we're sitting at the St. Regis for an event, and I'm sitting there with my, Orca accessory bag, and I'm waiting for my turn. And a woman, she walks by and she's looking back and forth at me, and I'm thinking, well, it's the hair, right? It's the hair. And then she walks over and she says, I'm so sorry, but where did you get that bag?
I hate it when people walk by and admire my hair too. That's so annoying. So the Guy Harvey Collection bags, Are those available in stores, or do you have to go to your website to get them?
It's a special collection,
Yeah.
and those are being right now offered through pre-order. So once they go into production, I think that pre-order runs through the end of December, and then those will get into production, and we expect those to actually be delivered, I believe, in March.
Yes, the end of March.
2024.
Yeah.
Is it a limited edition? Is there a finite number that are going to exist?
I think it depends on the pre-order. Guy has a lot of artwork, and what we do know about his client base, they are also not only avid fishermen, fisher persons, I should say, but they are avid golfers, very avid golfers. And you wouldn't think so, but it's true. It's true.
Well,
So
you always, where I live, which is in the TPC Sawgrass area, you always see people going to the golf course with their golf bag, and often there's a fishing pole stuck in one of the things of the bag. It just, I mean, it was a thing for several years with all the PGA Tour pros who would go out and fish after their round. I mean, I'm sure it's relaxing.
Both activities involve hooks. What can you say?
yeah. But he has a huge following. I mean, his client base is they just love his artwork. Love his artwork. And it is beautiful. It is beautiful.
Yes. It's beautiful and colorful. And if you're looking for something that's navy blue with a little piping, he's not your guy. But if you're looking for big, bold, beautiful designs, they are that, and
right. And we know that golf bags are what actually starts a conversation on the golf course. And when you look at bags, and we go to a lot of tournaments, and you look at all the bags lined up there, and there's no way to know which bag is yours. So people are really, especially the younger generations now, are really all about, what they care about. And we know that they care about the environment and things like that. And they want what they want. So, we just want to encourage people to continue playing golf and to even make it a little bit more fun. You give yourself something to tell you about your journey and your story and what's,
Can you also, because a lot of people have an idea that a custom bag must be $1,500 or $2,000 or something like that. But your bags are relatively reasonably priced for a custom bag, I thought.
Go ahead.
Yes, they really are. Again, Kathy, we know that our bags are not going to be for every golfer. It's really that special golfer that pays attention to details. That golfer who we say has everything, but they do not have a custom designed golf bag. So the cost of our bags, really, we seldom talk about the cost of our bags, because our customer base are like, I just love my bag. We've done so many bags over the years. One in particular, a gentleman emailed me once, and he said, I looked online, I was trying to find something to remind me about my dad who had passed away. And he said, I found your golf bags. I don't know anything about your company, but, can you tell me? And I called him up. And he said to me, my dad was a scratch golfer, and he passed from Alzheimer's. And I really want a golf bag that really represents my dad, and I can't find it anywhere else. Can you do it? And I said, yes, I can. And I said, just tell me what it is you want on the bag. Tell me something about your dad that's special. Just email it to me, and we will make it happen. He emailed me a tattoo on his arm. He had a tattoo of a heart on his arm. And he said, I did this when my dad passed away. And he had a favorite phrase. And he told me what the phrase is. He said, could you make this into a golf bag? And would you believe, we took the picture of his hand. We got our graphic designer to digitize it. And we made a golf bag that was purple and white with the Alzheimer's slogan, his dad's heart on it, and his dad's favorite quote. And to date, I can't tell you how special that bag was to that gentleman. So every time he goes out to play. So that is the story of Orca Golf. That's what we do. We say we create happy. We really create happy with our golf bags. And we have scores of stories of women, Kathy, whose dad has introduced them to golf. And they say, can I get a golf bag that says love dad? And we find, a heart with a love dad. And, so that's our story. So Kathy, the cost, people are willing to pay the cost of happy. And for us, it's very reasonable.
But for the Guy Harvey bags, for example, most of them are under $500.
There's the most expensive Guy Harvey bag, I think, is like $3 something, because we want something.
That's very reasonable for the kind of bag that it is and the quality that it is, and being a limited edition and with an artist involved. I mean, that's just like unheard of.
That's a low price to drive a Mercedes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think that's one way to say it.
Yeah. Yes, because we wanted the average golfer to feel like they could be a part of this Orca pod, as we call our customers. And again, as a limited edition, and a part proceeds of this particular one going to help the ocean, we thought it was a good thing. We do the same thing for Play for Pink. In the same price range, we do the same thing for Paws. We give back to Play for Pink every year. Every bag that we sell with our Play for Pink collection, 10% goes back to the Play for Pink Foundation. We do the same thing for Paws. So if you go online now, you'll see our collections. Paws, we give back to the Humane Society of Broward County. Every golf bag we sell for Paws. And we do the same thing for the LPGA Girls Golf. We give back to the LPGA Girls Golf. So we really are, we say we're not just a golf bag, we're a story. We're a story of humanity. So that's what we're about. And again, it comes back to our birth. Deb was born in West Virginia in a small town. I was born in Jamaica in a small town. It's our heart. It's who we are. So it's not what we say, it's what we do. And the whole business of Orca is about change.
Well, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us and sharing your dog's voice as well.
Yes, I know.
I think she was a large dog. She's a little 8-pound dog.
I was going to say, I'm sure she's about like this, but she's a lovely dog.
Yeah, you really should be commended for filling the void and making custom bags that are this quality. And then, I was impressed looking through your website, all the charities that you guys contribute to and support.
Thank you.
It's really something. So
thank you.
Good luck to I have one question everybody's obviously going to want to know. That the Orca is a mammal. What's your second favorite mammal, each one of you?
Second favorite? Oh
my God. Human, I don't know.
I never thought of that, Gary.
That's a good question.
Okay. Well, think about it and get back to me. We'll talk about it at the merchandise show in January.
Absolutely. We will do that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you both very much. It was great. Great seeing you as always.
Bye-bye.